Oye Melota, welcome to the Nerdissance. Wasteland Weekend's just around the corner, so I thought I'd do a necessary video about the necessary. Whenever you attend a large gathering, usually in the middle of nowhere, there's no getting around it. You're gonna have to use a porta potty, or a porta john, or a TARDIS toilet if you're from the UK. They don't actually call them that, but they should. And these little boxes of privacy for you to do your business in are absolutely essential. But they have a pretty bad reputation for being dirty and smelly and overall unpleasant. So today I've contacted an expert to share some tips on how we can make everyone's experience using the portos a bit more pleasant. So here to shed some light on the shit shed, Peter Popcorn, Porto Detective.
Thanks for having me on. So, I'm going to cover 4 main facets of Porta-Potty policy you should get acquainted with: courtesy, privacy, safety, and technique. First, courtesy. Check the lock on the outside before you go in. Knock if you're unsure. No one wants to be interrupted while they're dropping off the dead crows at Uranium Springs. But it's preferable to someone aggressively shaking the whole porto because the occupied indicator was broken. What can go into a porto? Pee, poo, and 1-ply. That's it. This is a staple of making sure the honey dippers, that's the common parlance for the folks that clean out the portos, can do their job and the event you're at doesn't get fined or blacklisted. When you're done, close the lid. Closing the lid is the equivalent of flushing, as it creates a vacuum effect for the ventilation system and sucks most of the unpleasant gases up, and away from other people's noses. Also, wipe up if you've made a mess. Then walk out with the confidence that the person who goes in next won't have a horror story to share when they get back to camp. Second, privacy. Lock the door behind you, unless you're an exhibitionist or just want to poop with friends. If the door doesn't lock, enlist the aid of a friend to be the door guard. If you didn't bring a friend to the porta with you, you lone wolf you, then you can either take your chances or find a porta with a lock. Third, safety. When approaching the porto, have a look around. It's unlikely that someone might try to corner you, but it does happen. So, if you feel unsafe, ask someone to go with you, or at least let someone know where you are going, especially if your camp is a long way off. If you have any misgivings about the facilities themselves, or weird people hanging around, or if you just don't feel safe, tell someone at event staff, ask to be escorted by security, or just get someone you trust to go with you. No one will think less of you or give you crap because everyone feels awkward pooping in public. Yes, we can all do it safely and with our dignity intact, as long as we have a tiny bit of forethought. Last but not least, technique. Before entering the porto, make sure that there is paper available. If not, then choose another porto. As an alternative, if you can, is to bring a discreet supply of your own TP. Remember, it needs to be 1-ply. Your extra plush, cushiony Charmin will not break down and will certainly clog up the cleaning works, and nobody wants that. Keep in mind, don't fall in. It's bad if you fall in. And that also goes for your stuff. When you walk in, put the seat down if it isn't already. Check all your unsecured items. Make especially sure that all of your expensive or important things are put in pockets or places that they can't possibly fall out of. And then, and only then, take the next step. Better yet, bring a friend to the porto and take turns holding each other's stuff. That way you'll have a built-in door guard. When you finally enter the porto and lift the lid, remember, the lid should be down. Always have a peek down into the dark. A freshly cleaned Porto can give you Poseidon's kiss, and nothing will ruin your day faster than that blue circle on your tail feathers. If you have to poo in a Porto whose liquid looks like Lake Placid, throw a bit of TP onto the water to break the fall of what you're going to drop in. Splashing is bad. That's it. Don't forget to flush. I mean close the lid when you're done. Now go wash your hands, you dirty ape.
Wow, Mr. Popcorn.
You can just call me Peter.
Well, you sure gave us some great tips about porta-potties. I hope you all learned something. Thanks again, Peter, and we'll see you all at Wasteland Weekend. Hey, Peter, did you want to do the outro?
Sure. Stay nerdy, my friends.
Well, you dang.